Welcome back to Streamline Entertainment. It is Marvin speaking. We're just going to get into a short article, and this is by the Daily Mail, and it was produced today, 3 p.m. Update. British teenager who was jailed in Dubai for sex with 70-year-old girl is killed in a crash after it failed to stop for police. So sad. To be honest, all I got was an article that he'd been in a car crash, and I didn't know basically it was a fail to stop. So a British teenager who was jailed in Dubai after having sex with a UK tourist has been killed in a car crash just months after being set free following a royal pardon in Dubai. Marcus Fakana, 19, died in Tottenham, North London at around 1 a.m. on Friday after a car he was a passenger in failed to stop when being blue lighted by the Metropolitan Police. Officers say that they temporarily lost sight of the vehicle after tailing it for around 60 seconds before discovering its involvement in a huge smash with another car at the Roundway. Boy, that's terrible. Marcus was left seriously injured as a result of the crash and received first aid treatment at the scene, but he died shortly after being rushed to hospital. The driver, a man also 19, was arrested after the crash on suspicion of failure to stop and dangerous driving. He remains in police custody, so obviously he must have survived, the driver. Marcus' death came exactly 3 months after he was released from prison in the Gulf state, thanks to a pardon from the Dubai ruler Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum. He was arrested and sentenced to 1 year maximum security prison last year over a consensual holiday relationship with another British tourist who was just a few months younger than him, a fact he was not aware of at the time. The girl was 1 month away from turning 18, but sex with anyone under age of 18 is a defence in Dubai. They met when both families were staying at a luxury hotel. So sad. Marcus Fakana, 19, and that's him. He was jailed after sex with a UK tourist and being killed in a car crash just months after being set free by a royal pardon. The girl's mother reported Marcus, who was 18 at the time, to the UAE authorities after seeing messages between the two when she had returned to the UK. I must admit, I thought, because I don't think she should have done that. I think what she should have done is basically talk to the family. In a devastating visual for the young boy, dozens of friends and family gathered at her home were seen sobbing as many also put their heads down to commemorate their loved one. His case drew widespread attention and outrage, highlighted the UAE harsh laws that criminalise personal relationships, which critics say disproportionately target foreign nationals. Radha, Stirling, founder and CEO of Detained in Dubai, and she was the one that was helping Marcus at the time, who helped Marcus in the Gulf state, told the Daily Mail she was deeply saddened to learn of his death. She said, "I come to know Marcus as he faced one of the most frightening experiences of his life and witnessed his strength and courage throughout. He was grateful for the compassion known to him by British public, and his experience gave him a renewed focus on Christianity and prayer. Marcus was thankful to have regained his freedom and was looking forward to building a positive future. My heartfelt condolences go to his family and friends at the difficult time." She added Marcus spent the majority of the year in Dubai prison, which no doubt caused him a long-lasting mental anguish. It's sad that all of 2025, he was only free for 3 months, from the 3rd of July until the 3rd of October. That is very, very sad. It wasn't necessary for him to be in prison at all. He could have been deported instead, and then have maybe like a 5-year ban not to go back there. David Lammy and the FCDO caused Marcus and his family to end of grief, refusing to effectively help him as the foreign minister. But I think the Dubai laws are very, very strict. I do think they should look at it and maybe have some kind of program to help young people not to do it again before, instead of sending them to prison. That would be a good thing. And educate young people on their laws and regulations. It's sad that he had to go through this in what would be the last month of his life. Raphael Stirling, detained in Dubai, crisis manager added Marcus has only been released from prison earlier this year. Despite everything he endured, he was grateful for the kindness of the British public and the embrace his freedom with renewed faith, joy and hope for the future. So that's the crisis managers there, Raphael Stirling, and she was actually brilliant, and she did actually come out and talk to the papers as well. Marcus left is pictured with a family who battled for his release from Dubai. He had been home with them for 3 months before his death. Very, very sad indeed. It just seemed like, I don't know, for me, in a way, I know it happens, but like I seen Marcus started to grow up and started to sort of live his life. And I'm not too sure that his parents could sort of keep up with him, if that makes sense. In a post shared on Facebook, one said, I fought for you to be released from prison in Dubai. I did my best, and this is how it ended. So sad. My condolences to Papa Crispin and Marie. One heartbroken person close to the family said, God give Crispin and Marie strength. Obviously his parents, the pain is too much. R.I.P. Marcus, you left your mummy in pain, baby. Wow. Another commented below the post, I know some people might say it doesn't matter how he passed away, but all I know that he will all hope and pray for him to pull through. And then suddenly he was gone. Please make it make sense. I'm confused. Too young to die. When I heard the sad news early on tonight, my heart just sunk in pain, felt useless. Oh God, I feel for you and your dad, mum, your uncles, your aunties, your cousins, your sisters, your brothers. May your soul rest in perfect peace, Marcus. A third added, his death has come as a shock to many, as one wrote, oh my God, this poor boy went through hell. So sad. How long had he been out? R.I.P. 3 months. His release followed sustained pressure from detained Dubai legal and advocacy teams, as well as public support behind the scenes, diplomatic discussions, and a royal pardon application. The family confirmed his arrival and expressed immense gratitude for the support received throughout the campaign. That couldn't have been easy for Marcus or the family. I'm just wondering whether that the prison experience had a mental effect on him. The family confirmed his arrival and expressed immense gratitude for the support received throughout the campaign. When Marcus appealed for a pardon, Miss Stirling said, this has been the most traumatic and life-altering experiences imaginable for Marcus. He barely is an adult himself and never intended to break any law. What happened was legal in the UK and consensual, but now he is facing a permanent damage to his mental health and future prospects because of it. She said Mark was only able to call his family spontaneously for short periods, adding that the isolation has been mentally and emotionally devastating for both him and his loved ones. So very sad, really, really, really sad. Really sad. Maybe his mental health. I know we can always blame with it. I think his his behaviour, getting into a car of someone, his friend, driving around like a lunatic, and basically him being in the passenger seat, probably no seatbelt at the end of the day, and lost his life. It's really, really, really so sad, to be honest with you. But like I said, it seemed like to me that he may have got in with a bit of a bad crowd. But hey, look, my heart goes out to his family, and R.I.P. Marcus Fakana. I'm going to put this out on Streamline Investigations and Streamline Entertainment as well, because it is very, very sad. Thank you. There's going to be a part 2 on this on Streamline Investigations, if anyone wants to see that. Thank you. Welcome back to part 2 about Marcus sadly passing away after a car crash, people. Radha Stirling says, we are heartbroken to share that our client and friend Marcus Fakana tragically lost his life in a car accident in Tottenham on the 3rd of October 2025, which was yesterday, people. Marcus had only been released from prison earlier this year. Despite everything he endured, He was grateful for the kindness of the British public and embraced his freedom with renewed faith, joy, and hope for the future. His loss is a painful reminder of how precious life is and how necessary imprisonment robs people of time they can never regain. Every day of freedom matters. This was by Radha Stirling, and Radha Stirling, she helps people in Dubai that basically had problems over there or up in court or in prison. She does a really good job, and she helped Marcus basically get out after a few months rather than serving a long sentence. And it's so sad, and very, very beautiful words by Radha Stirling there, and it's just so sad. It really, really is. Let's move on, people, see what else people are saying. We move on to Vares Giza, who basically talks about a lot of different cases.
This chap here has died. You may remember this chap here from that incident in Dubai some time ago recently. He served about 1 year in jail and then was eventually given a royal pardon and then was able to come back to the UK. Well, Marcus here was involved in a high-speed pursuit where he was the passenger of a car that was driving through North London, Tottenham. The police were chasing the car containing Marcus as the passenger for around 1 to 2 minutes before the car pulled out of sight and the police lost it, only for the police to then find him involved in a horrific, huge car crash. Marcus received treatment on the scene by paramedics but died shortly after on his way to hospital. The driver has been arrested and as is in custody. He's not in hospital, he's in custody, which is, I'm assuming, he's fine, which is absolutely mad. No word yet on the other car that this car drove into. No word on their condition either at the moment. How mad is this? You know, looking at doing life in jail in Dubai, gets given a royal pardon after serving 1 year in jail, comes back to the UK in London, high-speed pursuit with the police in Tottenham, and he dives literally instantly, and the driver, it seems to be fine. Thoughts go out to his friends and family, and even if he was getting chased by the police, no one deserves to go out in such a horrific way. You know, Tottenham's a tough place to live anyway. He was only a young lad. Thoughts go out to the friends and family, man, for fuck.
Yeah, terrible. Really, really terrible for Marcus. And like I said, he wanted to come out and start a fresh new life. It's just so sad. We move on to Adriana Pemberton Dame. Look, my condolences to you, Mama Marie, for the loss of your son. Let's get straight into this.
Guys, I'm sure you know about Marcus Fakana. If you didn't, Marcus Fakana is no longer with us. This news came as a shocking news to the community, as a shocking news to everyone. When I learned about this around like 4 p.m. yesterday, I was in complete disbelief. I know someone who's very close to Marcus Fakana's mom, Mama Marie, and Papa Crispin. My condolences to you in this sad time. My condolences. People who don't know, Marcus is the boy who was arrested in Dubai. He received the royal pardon or something to come back in the UK. I'm not going to go too much into details on what happened, but you can read it on the news. But 3 months later, being back here, he's no longer with us. This doesn't make sense at all. But at this moment time, sad moment, we just ask everyone to pray for the family, to pray for the immediate family and for everyone, really. If you also don't know, Marcus Fakana was a Congolese boy. Yeah, so that's why I'm just doing this video to express my condolences to the entire community, to his family. Boys, be safe out there. Also, I'm just a mother of boys, and this news, God, Maman Marie, courage à toute la communauté congolaise qui pleure. Courage à la famille qui est à Tottenham. Courage à tout le monde. Yeah, let's just come together as a family, as a Congolese community, as yeah. If there's also anything you guys need, please communicate. We will be there to support you.
So very, very sad. I think that, you know, sometimes you get involved with a friend that maybe is a bit troublesome. That could have happened. He was trying to find his way in life, maybe felt a bit lost and wanted a bit of excitement. But that sort of excitement, especially in a fast car in London, where we know it's well built up. You hit something, you hit a lamppost, you hit another car. Very, very sad news at the end of the day. Very, very sad news. And I'm just wondering whether he was wearing his seatbelt. I did mention it earlier, and his mate was, and this is why his mate wasn't hurt and was arrested for it. But it's so sad for Marcus because he had his whole life ahead of him. And I do believe he could have made something of his life if he knuckled down. But it's such a shame how sometimes life treats you. Don't forget to subscribe to Streamline Investigations on my first channel, Streamline Entertainment. Thank you very much indeed. Let me know your thoughts. It is very, very sad news. Thank you.